This podcast is brought to you by SeatGeek. Our friends over at SeatGeek are giving us a promo code of TBA Wrestling. That is TBA Wrestling for $20 off your first purchase. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to Gunners Are Us, where we are positively Arsenal.
And that we are.
Thank you, Kai.
Thank you, Kai. Thank you for everything, Kai. You're the man, Kai.
It got very close to me struggling to say the word positively today.
I actually have a hot take. I have a steaming hot pile of takes here. And I've been looking around and I've been reading stuff up and people's thoughts. Carragher's talking a nonsense and walked himself into a corner, and Micah Richards actually pulled him on it.
Yeah.
But so much stuff. I actually feel very good. And I felt very good pre the goal, and I feel very good after the goal, and I'll explain that. And we are positively Arsenal. That is a steaming hot take, because I've seen a lot of people say that was really, really bad. I really disagree.
Oh, no, I might have to elaborate on my point.
Yeah,
as well,
and no, but I also agree.
Because I don't really feel bad, but I mean, it was a knife edge to chaos.
It was a really tight game. So we're going to get into that today. So today here on the main feed, iTunes and Spotify, give us a 5-star review. We'll be getting into the last two games have been, since those two games have happened, Joe hasn't been on the pod. No. So we need to get Joe's thoughts on...
Been spiralling on my own.
Yeah, and I, on Monday, I feel like I did a Silver Linings Playbook was the episode name.
Heck yeah.
I tried to put a silver lining to every single piece of the bad couple games.
Yeah.
I feel I did it okay. I got a text from Jack, who listens a lot, and he said, I agree with most of your points. So maybe I was stretching on some, but either way, I was trying to get the positives, and I feel good because I feel like this Sporting game actually, to an extent, backed up the way I felt. But we'll get into that today. But yeah, we'll get Joe's thoughts on the last two games. We'll talk about this Sporting game. I think the Sporting game is actually a very good conversation piece.
Yeah.
Especially when you look around. So we'll get into that. And then we'll also get into this weekend. So we'll talk about, we're back in the Premier League after, I think Bournemouth haven't played for 23 days by the time we play them.
Jesus.
Since they last played, we would have played 3 games.
It's nearly a month.
Yeah. It's a very, Man United haven't played for like maybe 3 months. I don't know what's happened, but it's very bizarre. And I've never seen this happen in a league. And I just don't know why such long periods keep happening. But we'll talk about that on the Patreon, guys. Link below for the Patreon for extra episodes a week. I'm going to hit up a preview of that Bournemouth game when we have more information. Things like injury news, press conferences, Bournemouth injury news, and press conferences. Basically, when I've got a bit more information at the end of the week, you'll get that preview pod. It's an early Saturday one, so that'll be out Thursday night / Friday morning. So you've got enough time to listen to that before the Saturday show. So subscribe to that Patreon. So today, we've had a weird couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It's almost been extended because of the international break. Because you go 4 days and you play a cup final.
Yeah.
You lose that cup final in what we describe as bad fashion.
Yeah.
We then go away for 2 weeks, where the whole conversation around that 2 weeks
is
Arsenal have pulled 11 players, which I completely debunked,
Yeah.
and it's being proven every single week when those players are still not available.
Yeah.
Then we come back.
Yeah.
We go, first game is against Southampton away.
Yeah, it was,
We go crashing out the FA Cup.
Yeah.
And then we have to wait 3 days to go away to Portugal to play Sporting Lisbon, who have not lost since August at home. They have 15 games in a row, wins, no draws. They've beaten PSG and Man City in the Champions League this year. They beat Bodo Glimt 5-0.
Yeah, decent.
They do not concede at home very much. PSG have scored, and that's it.
Big fan.
We went and got a result.
Yeah.
So when you look at that, that is actually 4 weeks worth of action, even though there's 3 games, and a lot of it, 4 games, a lot of it was negative.
Yes.
In that time. But how were you feeling before the Sporting game? Like, I'm talking coming off that long break with the injuries, the cup final loss, a quadruple is non-existent, the criticism, and then going into the Southampton game and like what you watched the Southampton game like.
Yeah.
How were you feeling going into Southampton? How do you feel after the Southampton game?
It's hard to put into words. I mean, we're in a weird patch at the minute that I would like to say anyone with less character than Arsenal Football Club
Oh, no, that's interesting.
would really struggle. Because I do believe it's a real test of character. We've been tested professionally this season. Not just on the field, but off the field. And I think we've had to really, really dig down deep in the last few weeks. Not just on the field, but off the field as well. I think there's a lot of stuff coming our way, but I think that is also what makes champions. I think if you can take this sort of battering, you turn it around and you can turn it into something positive, because that's what we like to do here.
Mhm.
I think this is all just part of our process. I think this is a learning curve. I think, like any club that's gone on to do great things has caught this kind of flack. I know we're in a world now where everything is laid out on social media and we hear a lot of stuff and there's a lot of information around, a lot of opinions.
Mhm.
We didn't have that as much years ago. So a lot of teams just had to kind of deal with what was on the field and that was it. And you didn't hear anything else.
A lot of noise now.
Unless you looked at the back of a newspaper, which not many people did.
Maybe the back of the newspaper, maybe those deep, dark, not Reddits, whatever they would call back there, message rooms.
Oh, yeah, because I think you popped one in the group this
Well, I was
week.
actually about to show you.
Yeah, interesting. Because this is part of why I like... nostalgia-wise...
Yeah, retrospection.
When I was younger, I wasn't paying attention to what people were saying. I wasn't even looking at newspapers.
No.
I was just watching the game and moving on. I try and live by that now, but it's almost impossible. As someone that doesn't go looking for stuff after games, I still see stuff and I still hear stuff. That's how prevalent it is. I'm not even looking.
Well, the only thing we would really hear is, like, because we wouldn't really have a strong opinion on certain players, but our mum would watch an odd game and she would go, and I excuse my French, va-va-voom. She would say, Henri, lazy bollocks,
Yeah.
not doing anything again.
Yeah.
And we were like, Mum, he got an assist and a goal.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, but he just stands there and up there pulling up his socks. And I was like, all right. But basically,
It's almost like a pub opinion, isn't it? Like when you go to a pub, anyone in a pub is saying that sort of stuff. Because they're not really looking at it. They're just seeing what they're seeing.
yeah, and the problem is now they're not just seeing the game and then having their own opinion that could be a pub opinion, as you
Get backed
said.
up by professionals.
It's getting backed up by pundits who also have pub opinions now. I mean, last night, I couldn't explain it more, okay? Arsenal played a lot of short corners against Southampton, okay?
Yeah.
Do you know the reason?
We didn't have our usual corner takers, did we?
No. That's true. And that's what Alan Shearer said last night.
I remember him saying that.
Yeah. That is where we're at with punditry. The real reason is Southampton have the worst shot allowance from set pieces in the Championship.
So we're trying things.
So we were doing a short corner to get shots away because they do not mark it.
And there were some lovely little
And
ones they
we
did.
nearly scored 3 or 4 times.
That
from short
Martinelli
corners.
one. I think it was Martinelli
Yeah.
or Trossard. Martinelli.
There were nearly all the short corners created something.
Yeah.
That's the real reason, okay? That's real knowledge of understanding of why they would do that.
Yeah.
The other reason was Storm Dave was happening, hence why Ben White got caught under a flying ball and why the ball kept going up really high. And also the Southampton manager said afterwards, we dictate the whole game based on the wind.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that's why, if you remember, Southampton just kept going long. They
did,
don't
yeah.
always go long in their games.
No.
Um,
Talking about, you were saying about Sporting as well and how good they've been recently and getting a result there is big. Southampton are unbeaten in like 14, 15 games.
well, and I know we're getting further from the point.
Yeah,
we're
because
kinda
I haven't actually. I don't think I've even said how I feel in this time frame. But I'll get there.
We're digging and digging, but there is an interesting little underlying format that when we came back from this international break with some injuries, we played the most informed team in the Championship who haven't lost in 15 in all comps. Then we went, who also beat Wrexham 5-1 at Wrexham last night, which is unbelievable. The next game is against Sporting Lisbon. They have not lost a home game since August.
Yeah.
They beat PSG and Man City. They just don't lose at home. They're one of the most informed teams in the Champions League. A lot of people would say we had the easiest draw of all of them. Absolutely not. Barcelona have the easier draw with Atletico Madrid. They're a worse team than Sporting Lisbon.
But again, at this stage though, there's no easy.
No, dare I say, Bayern Munich have an easier tie with Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid are worse than the current Sporting team. Which is a steaming hot take right there. So then we played them with that unbeaten run. Guess who we're playing next? We're playing Bournemouth, the most informed team in the Premier League currently, with 14 games undefeated in the Premier League. A lot of them draws, yes. They're also a team that have never lost coming off an international break since 1914.
Jesus.
Never lost. So they can draw, but they've never lost.
That is mad.
So we're going to have to outbeat 114 years worth of history, potentially. With
It keeps getting harder.
Yeah. But the thing is, you look at it on paper and you go, well, Southampton away, or Sporting away, and, Bournemouth at home.
Yeah.
You go, yeah, that should be 3 wins. Should be 3, and especially for a team at the top of the league. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Then you now deep it, undefeated. All 3 are undefeated in some capacity in their proven places.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, this punditry. Oh, they didn't have Rice and Saka for their corners. This is, by the way, while he was watching how good a delivery Madueke put in, who was playing against Southampton.
Very good.
That's how where we're at with punditry.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, this is why we didn't see a lot of corners at the weekend, because they didn't have their real corner taker. As he watched Madueke put in an unbelievable delivery, hit the crossbar and set up 2 chances directly after it, and he said that was an unbelievable delivery.
Yeah.
So that's contradictory. Yeah, it's contradictory. Yeah. That's where we're at with punditry. And those are the deeper things. Getting back to the original point.
Yeah.
And I'm going to set this up.
Okay.
Imagine social media during the Invincible season. We were knocked out by United in the FA Cup semi-finals. We were knocked out by Chelsea in the Champions League semi-final also.
Yeah.
Then we were knocked out by Middlesbrough over 2 legs in the League Cup semis.
Yeah.
And then we came back from that, by the way, and we went, I think it was 2-0 down at half-time against Liverpool. And then Henry grabbed the bootstraps and sorted out. That was the Invincible season I'm explaining. Okay?
Yeah.
That is the team that went unbeaten, and the last time we won a league, that happened all over basically a 10-day period.
That's mad.
Okay.
I feel like I've seen it happen a lot.
April 6, 2004, here's a what's it called?
What was that, Reddit?
Yes. I don't know what it is. Maybe a message board. We choked. I see us losing it to Poole and Newcastle now. Sell Henry. Effing useless. Then these ones from also April 6, 2004. Henry's saving himself for Euros 2004. Because it certainly isn't for Arsenal. I wonder if Madrid fancy some retail therapy. Maybe 40 million sounds tempting.
Oh my god.
Henry needs to learn how to shoot. Torre how to header. And Wenger needs to learn effing tactics.
Oh my god. So it was happening.
So this has existed for the longest time, but it's in front of our faces now.
I prefer my ignorance of not knowing that existed.
Well, this is it. And like again, if I was 36 watching the Invincibles, maybe I would have thought more and gone, oh, that's a loss. You know, like in the other competitions, is that going to ruin the confidence? And I'm sure the thing is, they probably felt all this, and they probably dealt with the media saying all this.
Yeah.
Even at the time, I'm sure Richard Keys and Andy Gray were saying, "Is this going to knock their confidence? Are they not going to get it over the line?" If you remember in the league, what did we start doing? We started drawing a lot of games after that, and we kind of stumbled over the finish line.
We grind it out,
but we won the league, and we also went invincible, which has never been done. I'm sure if I was this age, I could have probably looked at it and gone, "Yeah, I don't think we're as good as we think." And even in retrospection, we know that the 05 and then 06 team were miles ahead of that 04 team. Yeah. The 04 team was not as good as 05 and then 06.
Yeah.
06 was the best Arsenal team that's ever existed, in my opinion. They won nothing. It was we won the Invincibles, then we won the FA Cup in 05, then in 06 we went to the Champions League final, and we won nothing.
Yeah.
That was the team, and that was the last year, and that is what kind of broke it apart. Because I think if we win that Champions League, or win the Champions League and the league, Henry stays.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Fabregas was coming through. We were going to get Van Persie and Henry for maybe a few more years. There was so much that could have come from it. And I think we're in such a similar position because almost the reverse. I think this current Arsenal team is not as good as 2 years ago. It's not as good as 3 years ago.
No, well, yeah, there's definitely something lacking, but I think overall it's a better squad because we've built a squad.
Yeah, the squad is 100% better.
But I know what you mean. The performances, the eye test, it's not what it was for the last two
But football doesn't make sense. Like I said, the Invincibles were invincible, but they weren't as good as the 06 team that won nothing.
Yeah, and also no one talks about what was going on in the rest of the league in the Invincible season.
No,
because I've heard it from someone at work this week when I was talking about how the season's going, and his point was this season as a whole has been the worst standard of football he's seen in the Premier League ever.
Yeah,
because of what we're reverting to, and it's not as good as like the European leagues at the minute. Yeah. It's like we've digressed.
But I also couldn't disagree more.
But I mean, like even if that is the case, let's say we win the league, and everyone comes away going, "Oh yeah, Arsenal didn't bottle it in the end, but it was the worst season of all time."
There's always a caveat. Last year was apparently the worst season ever.
Yeah,
and Liverpool the worst winners ever.
Yeah, but I think the Premier League, like Arsenal, is performing on such a level now. It's like an elite level. I think everything across the board in the Premier League is top standard. I think it's so top standard though that if there's a slight inclination that something's not quite right there, it has to be the worst ever. But it's because we're working on such a level that even the drop off is not even bad. It's just slightly under elite. And I think that's Arsenal. I think we've built to a point now where we're working at such a high standard of football that every little mistake or every little issue we see with our eyes is considered like we're falling apart, but we're not. We're just sitting slightly under elite now. Like, but we're up here now.
Yeah,
we've leveled up.
We'll get back to the standard and stuff because I think that's a good conversation about it. But I think finishing that original point of
how I felt.
No, we'll finish that. We'll get back to that in a minute. You don't know what the league was like in the in the Invincibles. Like there'll be people that say, "Oh, he's really low level." But what I mean is, there's correlations to that season to this season, in the sense that they weren't as good as other previous years,
Yeah.
where they won nothing.
Yeah.
But they actually brought back something very historic and very iconic.
Yeah.
And I could see that with this crew, is that I could see them kind of dragging themselves over the line.
Yeah.
And that team will be the team that are etched in history and get the statues and that.
Yeah.
But people deep in the know, like us, and do podcasts and all that, will go, yeah, but 23-24 was the best season.
Yeah.
That was the best team. You know, like, you know, this guy in his prime, this guy in his prime. The ones that aren't even with us now.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that's just why football's really interesting. How many years were Real Madrid not winning La Liga and really poor, but winning the Champions League back to back?
Yeah.
Football's a very odd game, and getting back to that, the idea that the level's not as high as I completely disagree, because I think that's been, again, the pub talk, the pundit
It's an
thing.
excuse, really.
It's a reason why other teams aren't very good. It's actually the best season I think we've ever seen. Maybe not as far as an entertainment, but as far as actual quality.
Yeah.
The teams that are coming up and the teams that are lower in the league are better than ever. The teams at the top, everyone's now going, aren't as good as ever. No. The only reason you're saying that is because of their points tally.
Yeah.
Their points tally isn't as good because they're having to play very good teams. Whereas
Very
before, you know, I'm sure it's a Chelsea fan that said that.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be Man United fans and Liverpool fans that say the same, City fans. And they loved it when they were winning 90 points and smashing Bolton Wanderers 5-0 at home, and you know, going against Fulham at home and winning 6-0, and then playing Everton at home and winning 7-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good league.
No.
That means you're very good and they're very poor.
Yeah.
That, you know, what happens this year? Do you know what's not happening? No one's winning by 7 goals.
Because everyone's very good.
Everyone's very good.
Yeah.
On any day, any team could beat anyone. So to be able to come out on top on that is good. Is it the most entertaining league of all time? No, I think it's low. It's one of the lowest entertainment level seasons because there's no massive victories of 7-0.
No.
There's not a massive amount of goals. There's no 4-4s going on.
Yeah.
You know, huge games like that aren't happening. The reason teams like Chelsea and Arsenal and City and that have dominated in periods, maybe not Arsenal, but those teams have dominated, is they figured out how to nullify teams and score goals.
Yep.
The problem is those coaches are now coaches for Leeds
Yeah.
and for Burnley.
Yeah.
And, you know, the level of management and coaching and facility is almost getting as close as it's ever been.
Yeah.
So guess what? Now Leeds go, yeah, we'll go man for man.
Yeah.
And Arsenal go, oh, this is really hard to play against.
Yeah.
We used to half the lower halves going, we can beat Arsenal, and we beat them 6-0 and go, well done, good try.
Yeah.
And then you get the odd stubborn team like maybe a Newcastle in the past, or you know, Stoke.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, that is such hard work. Now everyone's going, no, we're not going to be the whipping boys.
Yeah.
We're going man for man.
Yeah.
You're going to have to figure out how to get around it.
Yeah.
And do you know how you get around man for man? You score set pieces.
Yeah.
It's why Liverpool at the top of it. We're right up there with them. Man United right up there. Chelsea are right up there.
Yeah.
City, the only team that aren't. And, you know, you people, purists, could say City are still playing very good football, and they are.
Yeah.
And they're finding their form at the right time, as
They
they
are,
always do. But not everyone can sports wash for 10 years and also spend billions every single year.
They built
and
that.
have... In January, they went and bought the best centre-back that isn't at Arsenal or Liverpool, or themselves. And they went and bought the best winger that isn't at Liverpool or Arsenal.
Yeah.
In January, to go get themselves a Carabao Cup.
That's a summer move.
And go get themselves the FA Cup. They went, do you know what? I know we spent 500-600 million in the last 12 months. We could really do with the Premier League's best winger and the Premier League's best centre-back.
Yeah.
All right, we'll grab them. And everyone's going, yeah, they're finding form. Wonder why.
Yeah.
Because do you know what? If Arsenal had gone out and bought Gay and Semenyo, everyone would have gone, oh my God.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a joke.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but we're just so used to them going in the summer. Oh, we'll have Mamouche, we'll have Cherki, we'll have Doku.
Yeah.
I know this isn't one summer. We've already got Bernardo Silva. We've got the best forward in the world. It doesn't matter. But we'll add these guys. We don't need them. But, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That'll make our team better.
Just keep it more on top.
Yeah, like, it's the equivalent of Arsenal at the end of this year going, do you know what? I know that team just won the league, let's say Touchwood.
Yeah.
And go, we'll have Rodrigo and Kvaratskhelia. And I think if we can lure Mbappe, and we'll just have Van Dijk for a year as well, please. And then we win the league next year and go, God, how did they do that? It's like, I wonder how.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious.
But we're not going to do that because we physically can't financially because we haven't
Yeah.
finangled the books.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not a possible thing. And again, we've spent a lot of money, but so have a lot of teams, right?
Yeah.
So when you think of it that way, I just think people are listening to the media and going, oh, it's an awful season, because the media don't like it because it's not a great watch.
Yeah.
But when you actually look at it tactically, it's an unbelievable watch.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable level because teams are close to each other. The teams are so good.
Yeah.
They're so good at football. They're so good at tactics. They're so good at off the ball. And like I said, for the last 30 years, do you know what the biggest killer of football is? Man marking. Just going man for man across the field.
Well,
And one or two teams in the league would do that.
yeah.
Now, 19 of 20 teams do it.
Yeah. There's no levels to it anymore. It's kind of everyone just knows how to do stuff.
Yeah. The only team that weren't... There's two teams that weren't doing man for man this year. Wolves and West Ham.
Okay, yeah.
And they were doing that up until they got their latest managers. When Nuno came in and went, "I'll just go for man. What's happened? Uptick in form."
Yeah.
Wolves walked. Rob Edwards walked in and went, "Oh my God, you're getting walked through. Go man for man. Everyone else is." And what's happened? Wolves had an uptick in form.
Fine.
It's until someone goes. Man City do go man for man, but they also have other tactics and they also figure out how to break down a man for man without a set piece.
Yeah.
The majority of times to break a man to man is a set piece. Hence why you're seeing set pieces. Naturally, everyone's going, "Oh, it's rubbish now. We have to revert to old school tactics." No, the football's dictating what the tactics have to be.
They got to do what they got to do.
They have to. They have to get a goal, and by proxy, if you go man for man, you're going to give away 50 to 60% more corners than you are if you don't go man for man.
Yeah.
So do you know what's going to happen? Probability wise, if in a year you're defending 600 corners before, you're going to concede 10, 15.
Yeah,
you know. Now you're going to hit 1,000 corners you're going to face.
Yeah.
You're going to concede 30 corners, you know? So therefore, the majority of goals, and guess what happens? You score a goal, you get a set piece, you score a goal. All of a sudden, you know, it gets later in the game, you go, "Do you know what? We're going to shut up shop."
Yeah.
So therefore, you're seeing 1-0s and stuff, and the one goal was a set piece. It's all just dictated by the football they're seeing.
Yeah.
So I just disagree with the concept that it's bad. I think it's awful to look at,
Yeah.
but I think it's actually high level football.
Is there something to...
You know, you'd say to America, "Oh, it's a 0-0," and they go, "Oh my God, there was no goals." So yeah, but it was a really good 0-0.
Yeah.
It's that. That's what the Premier League is this year.
But I mean, fans in general. I'm talking like fans that just watch football, but they clearly don't look at the tactics or look any deeper, like what you just explained. And they'll say it's not entertaining and it's not fun to watch because they're watching it as fans. That's fine. Like, if you want to do that, do that. I mean, if you want to have that opinion, fine. Like, if you're not looking deeper, that's okay.
If your opinion is the standard of football is low, I think you're wrong. I think if you say it's awful to watch, I think you're 100% right.
Yeah.
You're entitled to your opinion, but you just cannot say the standards down.
No, because I don't think.
I think the minute I hear that, I go, "Oh yeah, you're not getting it."
But I think
in my opinion,
the standards get better every year. Sport evolves. Players get better, standards get better, tactics get better, coaches get better. It all gets better across the board every year. You can't really digress at this point. Or no, I mean regress.
yeah.
But is there something to, like, can they not get pundits and commentators that understand what's actually happening, or are they playing a character? Like, I know, because they're playing into the hands of the pub football watchers. They're playing into the hands of the people on social media. Like, they're basically playing along with whatever someone in a pub would say, someone on social media says. They're kind of handing you stuff.
Yeah, it's like baby faces in wrestling. You know, it's saying lower the ticket prices. It's saying my dad was a plumber.
Yeah.
It's going, I'm gonna be your eyes and ears on the TV, so you can go. That's exactly what I was thinking. It's what comedians do when you go, "Oh yeah, I went to the store with my wife yesterday." I did that too. You know, they're just doing what all showbiz and media is.
It's relatable.
It's fine.
Yeah.
The problem is there's just so much of it because it dictates. You know, and I talk to people about football, and sometimes they just regurgitate something. I know because I'm on social media and I'm on football social media.
Yeah.
They'll say something. And I was like, I know the exact 1 minute video that was out of context that you watched and came and formulated that opinion. That wasn't your opinion.
Yeah.
If you watched that match and then I shut you in a room and said, "All right, in an hour I'm going to ask you for a minute slice," you would never have said that.
No.
You're saying that because that guy is saying that because he hates it.
And that's why I avoid that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, when I watch a game, I'll turn it off after the game. Unless I want to see, like, I usually
It's very Spanish of you.
Yeah, I'm gone. I'm done. Like, game's done. I watch the players kind of on the field for a while, like just seeing what they're doing. Like, I like to watch how they're reacting. Sometimes if we lose, I won't so much because they don't show us. Yeah, I don't want to see us looking sad.
Pain hurts.
But I'll turn off and I won't go looking for information online. I won't look for anything unless it's going to be constructive. Like, unless it's something that is going to give me more information as to why that happened, not the ripping apart of stuff and not the, like, surface level opinion. But isn't blanked?
That was interesting.
No, blanked. I had something that I was working towards there, and it's gone. But yeah, I just don't like the fact that we don't have someone on TV
Yeah.
that can just kind of, like, after a game, let's say you've got the lead pundit, you've got a couple ex-footballers or managers, everyone's doing their usual shtick, like, of just, ripping apart the obvious stuff. Can you not have one third guy just sat there listening to it all, and then afterwards he kind of just debunks it all and goes, well, this is why, this is why, this is why.
I think you do get it sometimes.
Or is it a boys' club where he's not going to do that to his mates? Like, he's not going to sit there and make them look silly.
I'll say this. I kind of agree, but I kind of don't, because last night on CBS, it was like the ultimate one of them, because we've been talking about on the podcast for a while, like the decisions and Howard Webb and the other lad.
Everyone's mates.
What's his name? Dermot.
Dermot Gallagher?
Dermot Gallagher? He goes on there, and like we've watched it last year, didn't we, with the like kicking the ball away?
Yeah.
And they were like, but that guy kicked the ball away, and he goes, no, don't try and twist it.
Yeah.
No. I'm just saying, why did that guy not get booked?
Yeah.
Stop! Don't do that. And you're like, what? Whoa! No, you can't. You know what I said? It's two dogs, and he goes, that's the cat, and you're like, no, it's two dogs, and he's like, don't question that.
But then his mate backs him up as well.
Yeah, and then everyone goes, no, and then all the other fans of the other teams go, yeah, it's a cat, and you're like, no, you're all just joining in.
Yeah, we look crazy.
Now we're crazy, and that's what football's kind of become. And last night it happened because
that's gaslighting.
Well, it's on CBS last night. Jamie Carragher kind of made a bit of a fool of himself, and he got called on it.
Yeah.
Because before the game, he said, this is huge. This game with Sporting Lisbon is huge. Away from home, getting a result is massive. Not just because of the Champions League and getting an away result is huge. He said, but it's coming off those two losses, the huge losses that people feel like everything's crumbling away.
Yeah.
He said, it is so important that they just get a result tonight. That's all they have to do. 2 hours later, comes back and he said, we were watching a lot of the Madrid Bayern Munich game. He said, we're keeping an eye on the Arsenal game, but he said they were not good. They were not good. He said, yeah, they got the result. He said, but you need more than that. And Mick Richards going, like, you can see him moving his head, like, wait a second. And then Mick Richards goes, but before the game, he said they just needed to get a result, like any result, and that would be huge with the two losses. He, no. he said, but Mika, if Havertz hits the post at the end, he goes, but he didn't hit the post.
No.
So what we did, like, no, you can't, like, what do you mean if he hit the post?
You're trying to make up things.
Yeah,
now.
If my mother had wheels, she'd be a bike. I've used that 3 times this week, but I love that quote. But it's so true. Like, he didn't hit the post though. So what are we talking about? He's like, yeah, but if you hit the post and that was 0-0.
Oh yeah.
He goes, yeah, but you said before, and draw would be a good result in the Champions League. Take it back to the Emirates. He goes, nah. He said it's just a manner you got to do. Yeah, but you said it wasn't about the manner.
Yeah.
And he just kept going, and it was so awkward. And eventually, Carragher was like, you don't understand. We're agreeing, and he was like, no, we're not. And you can see he was trying to like win him back over as if like the people laughing at this are stupid. We're the smart ones. So he went, yeah, because we're agreeing. And Mika just didn't go with it. It was like, no, we're not. And you're just like, that's the boys' club you're talking about. They're kind of, and Mika, credit to him, pushed on it. But
they're the ones that have all the opinions that we take as fact.
Well, the managers are the best ones to listen to, and they're the ones that are most media trained, unfortunately. But you get it when, like, Roberto Martinez comes on like one of these things, and they're like, yeah, but Arteta's so boring. He goes, oh no, it's not. He said, it's exhilarating what he does, and they're like, what explain? He goes, and then he explains it, and he's like, when they don't have the ball, they're doing this. When they do have the ball, they're doing this. But in this portion of the match, they were doing this.
Yeah.
He's like, that's so hard to teach. And they're like, but it's so dull. They're just scoring set pieces. He goes, set pieces are part of football. And they're like, yeah, but it's boring. And it's like they're fighting.
It's like talking to a child.
Yeah, it is. And you can see him going, no, it's not. It's very good. But okay.
I try and take that.
And he kind of gives up, Wayne Rooney's been doing all season for us. Saying, like, I don't understand the issue. Like, they're good.
I try and think of that when I'm watching games. Because as a fan, you get caught up, like you get emotional, you get like attached to the game. So if something doesn't quite go your way, you kind of come away going, it wasn't good enough. That's not a good enough opinion to say it wasn't good enough. Like I don't know tactics as deeply as these guys do.
No.
Like I trust that whatever they're doing it for a reason. I think I said it to you last night with the Lisbon game. There was a pattern in that game of how we were playing that was identical to the Southampton game. And I've seen it in the Man City game. So it's 3 big games in a row. I've seen us with a body language and a pattern to play that has stayed the same in all 3 of those games. We won that one, though, last night because of a tactical switch towards the end that really helped. But there is a pattern to it. Every time I watch, I know exactly what's going to happen now. The way we play, the ball kind of... there is probably a reason to all of this, but it's just something I've noticed with my untrained eye. And it's just, we kind of keep the ball along the back. We try a couple of things, but there's no outlets going forward. then within the first 15, 20 minutes, we'll let them in a couple times with some really bad mistakes. They'll get in and they'll nearly score or score. Either way, it happened. They nearly scored last night when it happened. They scored. Southampton scored when it happened.
Yeah.
And then we'll kind of kick into gear a little bit, like we're reacting to what just happened.
Yeah.
But we won't really kick into gear. Like, there's not really any creative options. And I think you were talking about the thing in midfield where someone needs to just drive through the middle. Like, take the brakes off a little bit and just drive. But no one's really doing that at the minute.
Yeah, and I don't know enough about like quarter turns and half turns and when you receive the ball, how many times you have to touch it before you do this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of technique now to football now.
Yeah, and I hate criticising it because...
No, like, but I agree. I kind of agree because...
But I'm criticising as a fan. Like, when I'm watching it, it's frustrating and it's failed a couple times.
Yeah, and it's a tough one because like as fans, we naturally go, just play the ball forward. And then he plays it forward, he gets cut out, they score, and we go, God, just keep calm.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, you're the one who wanted him to go forward.
Yeah.
But it is hard, but I don't know enough about that stuff. And that is also the reason why people like Pep and Arteta and these guys are being successful now. Or not now, but Pep for forever. Is they know all these little intricacies and they drill into these players so they do not do the things that we kind of want them to do.
Yeah.
So he's like, sometimes we're like, well, make 2 passes and you'll get a goal. That's how Klopp played.
Yeah.
Whereas Pep goes, no, it's fine. You'll get that chance again.
Yeah.
Go back, go left, go right, go left, then find the pass.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, they're getting into shape. So no. We need to be in shape to best attack. We don't want to attack with 2 people against 6 and go make that pass straight away and then it gets, twisted.
Yeah.
Gets turned. They come back at us and we're now not in shape because we were trying to get into attacking shape.
Yeah.
So I understand there's that, but it's so frustrating to watch because I think we're doing a thing that we did under Arteta the whole time was there were seasons where Partey was the 6 and Xhaka was the left 8 and he was unbelievable in that left 8 and he was crashing the box, he was scoring goals, he was assisting, he was always up there and that's how Martinelli had his best seasons.
Yeah.
And on the right Odegaard was pushing and getting Saka his best seasons and that shape that was 1 6 and then 2 8s is the shape that I think of as the good Arsenal.
Yeah.
Then what happens is around January, February, Arteta, I think, goes, all right, Xhaka, could you just drop a little bit? Could you just sit next to Partey? And it happened last year. All of a sudden, Jorginho and Rice were playing together in that 6. And you're like, but Rice was scoring goals and getting headers and, crashing the box late. The cutbacks were coming to him. He's scoring goals.
Is that Arteta getting a bit nervous?
That's the only way. Yeah, that's
trying to be safe.
That's the only way I can think. And I think that's what draws teams onto us because when... if you imagine you're looking at and you've got the 4 defenders and then you've got one guy, Zubimendi, who's coming towards the centre-backs to pick the ball up and look for a pass. If Rice and Odegaard are staggered or at least high, and then you've got a centre-forward between them, and then you've got the wingers coming just inside from the... Maybe one's coming in from the wing slightly, the other one is hugging the touchline.
Yeah.
When Zubimendi picks that ball up, he's got so many options. But the benefit is, and this is what happened at the City game when they did the 4-2-4 bank, was the 4... stood with our back four.
Yeah.
And the goalie went like a wall. He went, I can't get the ball over to my midfielders. So what happened was Zubimendi was kind of just the other side with Rice together.
Yeah.
And then because Rice isn't high, Rodri and Bernardo could come and stand with them and go.
So everything was pushed
So
up.
yeah, so now we're with you. Now we're pushing you into your back third. And they're going, all right, now where can you go?
Now you just got to go Hail Mary to strike it.
And then he looks up and he goes, so what have we got now? So that's a 4-on-4 and then a 2-on-2. It's all man-to-man as well. Yeah. And he goes, all right, well, you got what Arsenal will have left, technically, is you have your 2 wingers, your 10, and your forward. What was happening is our 10 was Havertz Sunday. He was dropping in with Zubimendi and Rice to try and... Because he was like, well, we can't get the ball to them.
Yeah.
So I need to drop in. So what happened was their other midfield... one of the centre-backs would just come up with with Havertz, and go with him and just stand with him.
Yeah.
And then Kepa was left there looking. He's now got 2 full-backs on the 2 wingers, and he's got a centre-back and a centre-forward. And he's going, my only bet here is I have to hit it to Gyökeres.
Yeah.
And if he wins that header, I'm hoping one of our wingers can get away from their man and get the run on him.
Yeah.
That's the chance.
And if City win the header, they've now got a ton of players forward.
They're completely forward and we're behind the ball. And also we're not fully in shape because the centre-backs were never going to come forward. So they've actually got an extra man.
Yeah.
It's so simple. And we did that, and Liverpool did that to City over the years and failed. Because City are smart enough. And what did we see a few years ago? we did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Everyone pushed up, and they went, all right, we've got 3-on-3 at the back then.
Yeah.
So Edison just picked the perfect ball to Haaland's chest.
Yeah.
He chested it, and then where Havertz would be De Bruyne. He's now facing the right way.
Yeah.
Our defender that had gone up with him is trying to grab him. Oh, God, they've turned us.
Yeah.
He's running past him, and all of a sudden they've got 4-on-3.
Yeah.
And that's all. They just pinged it, boom, knocked it to him, and then 3 went, and De Bruyne was just running towards 3-on-3 on his own. And they would score that way.
Yeah.
That's all we had to do, but we didn't have the goalie to be able to do that, and I don't think we have the centre forward to do that game plan.
No.
I don't think Gyökeres is going to take it off his chest and lay it down to Kai Havertz, and then Havertz is going to pick a pass, because realistically, we want that ball to hit Kai Havertz, and he rolls it to Odegaard.
Yeah.
But we didn't have that personnel in that position.
Yeah.
So we couldn't do what they were doing. And then, when you go to last night, what happens is I think we get nervous, and all of a sudden we go into a double pivot and a 1-8.
Yeah.
But the 8 isn't a 10, which, like if you go to a double pivot, you need to make a isosceles triangle, you know?
Yeah.
That 10 needs to be a real 10.
Yeah.
Whereas instead we've got Odegaard on it, who's just hugging the right-hand side 8.
Yeah.
And there's just a void. So Trossard's just kind of like, shall I be the left 8? So he goes in and gets the left 8. And then he goes,
I could be your left eight.
yeah, and then he looks around and he goes, Calafiori's not behind me, so I've got to be the winger as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then we just don't go down that side.
Yeah.
And therefore the other team go, well, they're not going over here, so we can just overload the right. And you see it last night, and like when we picked that ball up, like you said, the centre-backs would play it around, and then you could see them slowly edging up the Sporting. And it always end up with Saliba going, oh God, and then you have to make like a little pass to his left because it's like the pressure's building.
There was nothing constructive.
It's like a burst pipe.
Yeah.
But there was a couple times where like Rice got the ball and he really just fizzed it in almost to Odegaard through lines, and you see Sporting go, oh God, because then Odegaard would go to Madueke, he was 1-on-1, and you go, now we're just hoping that he doesn't get past our fullback.
Yeah.
That's not where you want to be if you're Sporting. And for the first half, I genuinely believe if Dalman had played that first half, I think he created 2 or 3 major chances. Madueke didn't create a chance.
No, but Dalman's got that fearless, chaotic nature that I think Jack Wilshere said it this week about him. Like he said, Spain took the risk and took Yamal to the Euros.
And he won it for them.
Yeah, and he was a star. He said Max Dalman is that. Like, and England should do the same, and Arsenal should do the same. They should treat him like he's like if Barcelona, probably one of, if not the biggest club in the world, in my opinion. I think Barcelona is football. When I think of football, it's Barcelona. Barcelona can play this kid from day one, pretty much, and say this is the guy. He's amazing. Yeah. He's young, but he's awesome. Yeah. And he is, and we all know that now. We need to take those risks.
I do agree, and we'll get.
we're on a tangent again.
We're gonna do the Dalman bit, I think, for sure, because but that pivot thing is a problem, because what happens is you can see Zubimendi and Rice, and it's an even bigger problem when Odegaard's playing, because Eza, I know exactly where he'd be. He'd be in the 10 role, and he'd stand there behind 3 players, going, "Someone just chip over. I'll get it. I'll control it," and he's not going to come and get it.
No, he won't.
Whereas Odegaard is now in between Rice and Zubimendi. Yeah. So now we've got 7 players all within the space. And there's a moment last night, I don't know if people have clipped it yet, where Odegaard just wouldn't get out of the way, and Rice kept playing the ball to him. He kept giving it back to him.
Yes.
And Rice just went, almost just stopped playing. He was like, go away.
Yeah, it was just
like,
ping, ping, ping,
yeah,
ping.
He's like, what is the benefit of what you just did? Go away.
Yeah.
You're in my position. And it was just funny to see, because that's what happens. And then all of a sudden you got, within 10 yards, you got the 3 midfielders. And now Sporting kind of all look at each other and go, I guess we'll just go up. I guess we'll go with them.
It's not confusing.
And all of a sudden, they're now under pressure playing the ball in an unpressurised area of the pitch. And you're thinking, well, if Rice was higher, their midfielder has to stay high with him.
Yeah.
And then if Odegaard stays high, their midfielder stay with him. So therefore, Zubimendi, he does have a player with him.
Yeah.
But if the fullbacks make any kind of run, he can play it to them. And then we've overloaded the trap.
Yeah.
And now we're away. And that did happen. Like, we played the ball around a lot, and all of a sudden, Ben White was the outlet. He'd run up the wing, he'd give it to Madueke, and then Odegaard would come over and look for a 1-2.
Yeah.
That is essentially what they were looking for the whole game, and they kept finding it in that first half. I thought that fullback who was on Madueke was actually very good. He made 8 fouls without a booking somehow.
Yeah,
I don't
madness.
know
He had a game like, who was it the other day? Ben White for us?
Yeah.
Against Southampton?
And
I don't know how Ben White got away with that.
No, but that Raya save early on onto the crossbar is that's unbelievable. And he made a really good one late on with that near post header. And then there was another one, I think, near the end. Oh, he takes that shot that's bumbling. He parries it. The guy has a rebound. He gets his arms back up. And then he kicks the ball away. And
he's something else.
Yeah, in a man of the match performance, and rightly so. But these, like in all football, there's ways of looking at this that is pessimist or an optimist.
Yeah.
The goalie shouldn't be that much in action. You weren't very good. He saved you. Or are really good teams to teams that have a really good goalie, and they do save them sometimes.
Well, you have to.
have to.
Look at all the biggest teams of all
Yeah.
time. You always remember the
Yeah.
goalie.
When you don't get brought into action, they get brought into action once, and they get brought into action 3 times. They make unbelievable saves on any other day as a goal.
Yeah.
That's what top teams do. Top teams don't just have a bad goalie and they don't concede shots. Like
Look at
every team does.
probably one of the scariest forces in football, in modern football, Bayern Munich. I think of Kahn and Neuer.
Yeah.
If I think of any Bayern player in history, they're 2 players I think of first. They're the goalies.
Yeah.
That shows you it's crucial.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Look at last year, PSG. I think we go to the final if it wasn't for Donnarumma in goal.
Oh, he was unreal.
That a good goalie, and like any other, that's what they were saying was the PSG are very good, but their goalie, that's just an added piece to the puzzle.
Yeah.
So, or was it they had a really good goalie and that's what cost us, and we were actually better.
We were, yeah. It was him that cost us.
I think overall, I think they're a better team than us, and they are, and they were.
Yeah.
But it was, yeah. It depends how you look at it, and it's decision making on that day of like, oh, they got away with it or they didn't. I think the double pivot thing is really worrying me just because I feel like it does feel like you can't get out. Second half, we did change it and Rice got higher.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, there was space. I think Dalman and Martinelli changed the game.
Big time.
The Zubimendi goal was really nice. It was
was
unfortunate.
so-
Unfortunately,
Man.
Gyökeres was kind of just labouring offside. I don't think he had a bad game. I think he just doesn't get the service. And it was that one time where he got half a yard and he was like, I'm getting a shot away.
Yeah.
He got the shot away, but
I think that's why I don't like to criticise too much, because I don't know the ins and outs. I try and know as much as I can. I try and learn. But I don't know what I'm looking at from a deeper level. I trust that all these guys know what they're doing. I trust the manager knows what he's doing. I trust the players. I trust that things are happening for a reason. They're doing this because of this. They're doing this because of this. They're doing this because of this. The only thing that worries me as a fan is when you see patterns forming game by game, and it's in a period when nothing's going right,
yeah.
and the patterns are still happening. Like, that's the bit that worries me, and nothing changes. I mean, obviously, he shifted something last night, and it got us the goal. But, again, all the great teams, if you actually retrospectively went back and looked at the season of, like, the
There's
greatest...
down periods you got to get through.
There's all... These happen. It's not perfect. Nothing's ever perfect. The Invincibles weren't perfect. Nothing's perfect. But, quickly, though, the point we started on, I want to get that out very quickly. How I feel since the Southampton
It's a weird
game.
time to get back to.
Yeah. I just want to quickly say how I feel. I feel okay. I've had conversations. I've had people like mocking me at work,
Yeah.
even though I'm not that person, but they want to do it to me.
Yeah.
We've said it before in here. Those 2 trophies, not too bothered about. I don't mind,
Yeah.
and I'll take not having them. The Premier League, the main one. Champions League, lovely bonus if we get it. Bonus.
Unbelievable bonus.
There's a big bonus. But the Premier League is the one I want.
Yeah.
The only thing that does concern me is the manner in which we went about what we did in the last
Yeah,
couple of weeks.
I'm starting to see patterns now where I'm like, I don't know how we do beat Bournemouth, and I
Yeah.
don't know how we beat Fulham at home. I don't know how we beat Newcastle at home. I don't
Yeah.
know how we go to the Etihad and get anything.
But that's also
And when I'm watching Man City right now, I'm going, I don't see how they lose a game. But
that's confidence and momentum.
it's
though.
momentum because literally look before that cup final, they had just drawn 2 in the league against Forest and West Ham and lost
Yeah.
back-to-back games against Real Madrid and went out of the Champions League.
Yes.
So this is a very beatable team. Nothing's changed.
They had their down period.
They just beat us, and they've had 2 great performances and results. 2-0 against Arsenal, 4 against Liverpool. If we ever beat Liverpool 4-0 and then beat City 2-0
Yeah, in a cup
in
final.
the cup final, I would feel pretty like, yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we're
And
fine.
are Man City the best team in England right now? Yes,
Yeah.
they are. There's no doubt about
Yeah.
it. It's just whether we can hang on to it long enough.
Yeah.
Because of the work we've done before. And again, there's been years where 2 years ago we were the best team in England when
Yeah.
that season ended.
Mm.
We were the best team. We did not win it. We lost by a point. Man City were hanging on. If you remember, we needed Chris Wood to put in 3 open goals. He didn't. We needed Son to put in a 1-on-1. He didn't.
Yeah.
City were just grinding it and
Yeah.
going like every game you watched them, you were like they weren't good, but they somehow won.
Yeah.
That's what we need to be this year. We are not the best team, but we owe them this from 2 years ago because we were better than them and they won the league.
And like you said, that's what makes me feel like we're winning something big this season. I feel like things shift as time goes on. And I think the reason we're in this period now is character building, like I said before. We've missed out on 2 cups already. I do believe the reason this is all happening is because we're destined for something a little bit bigger. And I do believe, looking at that team, they're on the eye test, not as good as it has been the last couple of seasons. But there's something about this team that just feels different. And I think in football there is energy shifts.
Mm-hmm.
I think we talked about it loads before, but Dad talks about it. You got your chest out, your socks up, your shirt tucked in.
Yeah, everything goes your way. all
Our
of a sudden.
players, when I saw them lining up for the Champions League anthem last night,
Yeah.
and it was going along the players,
Yeah.
I was sat there and I always have this thought because sometimes I look at our players and I'm like, they don't seem there for it.
Yeah.
But looking at them and the way our players are, the aura is a bad term, but I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
The aura of our players this season is of winners.
Yeah.
They are winners. I mean, we missed out narrowly the last few seasons, but we didn't expect to be anywhere near those things. This season, we expect to be near those things, and these players have a vibe about them that tells me they're destined for something. And I do believe we're going to get it, because I do believe, as Arsenal fans and as Arsenal in general, we don't deserve to not win anything this season.
Yeah.
Not just from the standpoint of not having the trophies, but from the standpoint of we don't deserve the criticism and the jokes that are going to come.
It needs to end, yeah.
If we win nothing.
If we win nothing, it's not just we have to just take it on the chin because, and it's annoying because, like I said on Monday, it was at the start of the season we would have taken anything like a cup in the top four. We would have taken it. Now we're at a point where it's like if we don't win the Premier League or the Champions League, we've been so good, we've tied ourselves into a corner. It's like going, do you know what? One day I want to be a wrestler, and then like 6 months later, be like, I either got a headline WrestleMania or Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
And I've got to do it in the next 2 months.
It's one of those or nothing.
Or I'm a joke. And it's like all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, yeah, I really do.
But also the whole world's watching you now, and they know you've said this, and you do have to headline one of those.
You do, and that's the way football changes. But I agree ultimately.
Yeah.
We do need to win something, and there is going to be, that's what hurt, I said on Monday, was the Southampton game and the City game was... The bottling term was correct, and that's what hurts.
Yeah.
Before you can kind of be like, no, you're just rage baiting. It's like you rage bait to a point where it's like it's actually true, and you're like, I gotta just be like, yeah. But I also disagree with the concept of like you had 4, now you only got 2, and it's like
we were never winning all 4.
Like no one's ever won the quad, so that wasn't going to happen. Okay, the treble has been done twice.
Yeah.
That's how little it's happened. Okay?
And we're also in, like we said earlier, in an era of football that is exceptionally hard to,
it's difficult to win
in general.
And then there's to win the Champions League or the Premier League. It's not been done. Premier League gets done every year, but by a certain amount of teams. Champions League, only a certain amount of teams have ever won it in the Premier League.
Yeah.
When you look at that, you go, oh, okay, so these are really hard things to do. So everyone's saying it's 4 now to 2. It's like, yeah, but you realise that 90% of seasons, there's a team that are usually in a quad that turned into 2 or turned into 1.
Oh, yeah.
Liverpool went to like the distance a few years ago and they ended up with the Carabao and the FA Cup, but they lost the others.
Yeah.
They lost the Champions League final. They lost the Premier League.
Yeah.
That's not the one you want to do.
No, you want to do the other one.
Yeah, that must have hurt. And then, for example, who won the league last year? Liverpool.
Yeah.
But you know what also they had? The week where they lost to Plymouth and they lost only got 1 point from 6.
Yeah.
And everyone thought they were going to throw away the title. They'd already gone out of everything else. They lost the Carabao Cup final.
Yeah.
Because there was a week where they went out of the FA Cup, they lost the Carabao Cup final, and they won the league. And everyone went, yeah, but at least they won the league.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's where we're at.
It's the biggest one.
Because every year, teams will go from... The start of next year, Nottingham Forest are in... No, that's a bad choice. Brentford.
Yeah.
Could be in 4 trophies.
Yeah. Yeah.
As I get to January, am I going to go, oh, only 3 now?
Yeah.
Only 2 now?
Double standards, yeah.
I'm not. And again, we're different to Brentford. I get that. And we put ourselves in a position. But the thing is, like, do you know what last year they weren't doing? Counting down the trophies Liverpool could win.
No.
They were just like, yeah, but they've still got the league.
Yeah.
When City, in all those years that they won with Pep, they usually won a Carabao Cup and the league.
Yeah.
And then in 1 year, they won the treble.
Yeah.
Majority, they would win a Carabao Cup and they would win the league.
Yeah.
They'd go out the Champions League. They would go out the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Because that's just normal. At some point, you have to lose a few games in a row. And the time it happens, ideally, for every team, is at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Because you either you lose a couple games or you win the quad. And the quad has never been done. So you've got to accept that at some point, you're going to have a week where you go out of everything.
Yeah.
You want it as late as possible. But then I did look at that Saints game and I went, it wasn't good. I did not like the performance. I did not. There's certain players I don't think will ever play for Arsenal again. I do feel strongly on that.
Yeah.
I thought we were actually decent on the day to an extent. I think they deserved it. I think we were probably the better team.
Yeah.
But I think just that kind of overall feeling was they deserved it. And then I saw they drew City at Wembley.
Yeah.
And I went, do you know what I really didn't need was to play the Etihad and then play them at Wembley in 2 weeks' time
Hard work.
and be really more demoralised.
Yeah.
I didn't need that. And someone said that's a small team thing to
It's
think.
all happening for a reason.
It's all happening for a reason. I don't want to deal with that. If I said it last week, we got 3 games in a week. If I had to win, draw, and lose, I said I'd draw against Sporting. I said I'd lose against Southampton. I'd beat Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Guess what? I'm already doing better than what I wanted, which was lose to Southampton. I wanted to win all 3, but you lose to Southampton. We nearly drew with Sporting. That late Kai Havertz goal is huge.
Massive.
That win is massive. And then Bournemouth, if you win that, I think that's an unbelievable week.
We're in good stead, yeah.
That's back to where we were kind of being. And guess what? It's just so unfortunate. The fixture list had us in an FA Cup tie the week after we played the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
And that gives you the opportunity to go out of 2 ties.
Yeah.
And then we had another cup game in Sporting.
Yeah.
Could have gone out of 3 things if we
Could've
lose
been
that 2-0, yeah.
bad,
But again, at the end of it, we would have gone, yeah, but we're still in the league. We're still 9 points clear. We can go win that.
Yeah, yeah. It means you can focus on something more.
Yeah, and I think it almost had to, I've been saying it for a while. I almost wanted us to focus on 2 of them or 1 of them. And I'd be like,
it has to bottleneck.
yeah, I almost needed at some point just fall out of the Champions League randomly. Oh, what a shame. But the way the draw was on the Champions League, even now, it's like Atletico sometimes have Barca's number.
Yeah.
There's a small chance we get through this and play Atletico in the semi.
Yeah.
And the last time we played Atletico in the semi, we lost in the Europa League. But and Koscielny tore his Achilles. But you go, oh, we might not have a better chance ever to get to a Champions League final again.
Yeah.
And also, just making to a final is history.
It's great.
We haven't done it for 20 years.
Nah.
Never done back-to-back semi-finals, so we just need to get this over the line next week at Emirates.
Progression.
But the Bournemouth game is still the most important.
It's huge.
And that's where we're kind of at now. We talked about the Sporting game. I think what we have to remember, and this is what I was going to say at the start where I felt quite good about the game, was at times I felt really frustrated with the lack of penetration through the midfield to get up the ball up the midfield. Second half, I thought we really started to grow into the game and look like we were strong, like we were going to win that game. And I never felt under pressure, even though Raya made a couple of good saves. I never felt like they were going to score.
It wasn't consistent.
They weren't as good as Leverkusen.
No.
That was a harder game.
Yeah.
And we were doing this without Timber, Eze, and Saka, Bible boys.
Yeah.
But also 3 very important players to us this year.
Yeah.
We go away from home in the Champions League in a quarter-final. Max Dowman last night played in a knockout. And you saw the stat I put in the group this morning.
Yeah.
He's 1 knockout game, probably next week.
Yeah.
Away from equaling Bruno Fernandes' appearances in knockout Champions League games in his career.
That's mad.
He's 16. He's 15 years younger.
And he held his own when he came on as well.
He didn't just hold his own. He won 3 or 4 fouls.
Yeah.
He dribbled past his man.
Yeah.
And this is what I was going to say about the Dowman thing was I'm going to table Dowman, just going to finish this last bit. To go away in the Champions League in a knockout football against anyone.
Yeah.
Take away your kind of if anyone out there has got their kind of pretentious hat on, it's not Real Madrid or Bayern Munich or PSG. Yeah, like I said earlier, Sporting are currently better than Real Madrid.
Yeah.
They're a better team.
Yeah, form, yeah.
Leverkusen are better than Sporting and Real Madrid, dare I say it in a minute. Atletico are better than Real Madrid at the minute.
Yeah.
Like, not in the league, but in the way they're playing in the Champions League. There's hard ties.
Yeah.
Take away that kind of, oh yeah, but they're not a huge team. Yeah, but they're very informed. They're very good. So to go away in the Champions League and get that result, I think back to us going to Champions League final and we get that last-minute penalty save against Valencia in the semi-final.
Yeah.
I think it was Valencia. When it was Sevilla, Valencia?
Villarreal.
I knew it was in the top right.
Villarreal.
That is a result. I think it was 0-0. I think if you remember that year, I think we won every game over 2 legs 1-0.
Yeah, I remember the Henry goal against Madrid most.
That was 1-0.
Yeah.
Juventus 1-0.
Yeah.
I think Villarreal 1-0 over 2 legs.
Drag away.
Get to a final and then we lose it.
Yeah.
But either way, like this year we're not doing that. Like we won 2-1 in a tough game against Leverkusen. We're 1-0 up against Sporting, putting ourselves in a very good position. We might have to go through Barcelona.
Yeah.
We still need to get through Sporting. But what I mean is you cannot ever turn your nose up like Carragher tried to at an away result like that. Because on 0-0 I was happy.
Yeah.
I was like, 0-0. This is what we do against Leverkusen. A draw, and all we got to do is go win at home. And we should. We now got a lead.
Yeah.
That means they got to come out and play. That means there's going to be space. They can't go man for man the whole game.
No.
They're going to have to allow it. And who are we going to have back? Saka.
Yep.
Eze. Timber. Yep. We're going to have a full squad to be able to go, all right, let's pick and choose, where we're going to go. We're in great position there. So I think it's just an unbelievable result. And that's what you do in Europe. That's what the big teams do. Bayern Munich go and beat Real Madrid 2-1.
Yeah.
And everyone goes, yeah, but that's, they were 2-0 up. It's like, yeah, but they won 2-1. They won by the same margin we did.
They still won, yeah.
That's a great away result.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, yeah, but it's Real Madrid. It's like, yeah, but that Real Madrid team's not great. Man City just got kind of played.
Yeah.
If Liverpool went away to PSG and got a result, we all go, that's a result.
Yeah, big.
Even if it was a draw.
Mm.
If Atletico went to Barcelona and got a draw, when Newcastle got a draw against Barcelona, what do we all do? That is a heck of a result. You can't turn your nose up it, but also what can handle up on the other side is a 7-1 loss. But moving forward, the Dalman thing. I think we have to talk about Dalman going into this Bournemouth game because we're finally back in the Premier League. It's been the longest. I don't know if I remember a mid-season hiatus like this that wasn't just a winter break.
Oh man, I'm so thirsty for the Premier League. I'm dehydrated.
There's teams that are only in the Premier League, like Man United and that. They have not played for like 30 days.
That's mad. Did they train the whole time, or were they having time off? Or?
Well, a lot of them went to internationals and then a lot come back. Some people aren't on internationals, so they just carried on training as normal, but nothing was happening. It's a very odd one. But with the Dalman thing, I think sometimes we get excited about Wilshere, Walcott, as Arsenal fans, or every team has these players that you kind of go, he's the future.
Yeah.
We did it with Lewis Skelly last year. Lewis Skelly, we joked about it last year on the podcast. Lewis Skelly and Nwaneri is a fine line between them being Saka and Willock.
Yeah.
And I think Willock, Iwobi, Smith Rowe are unbelievable players.
Well, they're all good players that supplement other teams.
Yeah, and they end up being some of the best players or not the best players, depending where they land elsewhere. And there's some players that are just too good to not to keep. And I think Dalman, and I know we did this all with Nwaneri, but it's different. I feel different about Dalman than I do Nwaneri, and this has been said for 3 years since he was like 13. People have been talking about this guy's scary. Like people like Rio and Rooney and that were seeing him in youth football going. Yeah. They were saying this 3 years ago going, there's a guy coming through at Arsenal that is terrifyingly similar to Messi. And I know no one wants to say it, touch wood, but...
Well, it's the same as the Yamal comparison. And I'm sure people would laugh at that, but I mean, Yamal was this. Yeah. This is what he was.
And I think he embarrassed a lot of high-level, high-paid professionals at the weekend against Southampton, because it's not just remember when Fabregas came through, and that's a bad example because he's an unbelievable footballer. Yeah, but he was 15, and everyone went, but he made like Edu look silly because Edu's getting paid a lot of money and he wasn't running like Fabregas was. Yeah. Sometimes there's just young players that play very well because they want it a lot. Then there's people that you go, oh no, he's not good for youth. He's a good player.
He's an alien.
Yeah, to an extent, I agree. Because, I mean, we've seen him now against Mansfield. He kind of outclassed him, and everyone goes, "Yeah, but it's Mansfield." But he's 16. You do know that he's playing as adults. I know that's the biggest, toughest part to overcome. The physicality of it. Yeah. He's holding off Mansfield's players. He plays against Southampton. He was our best player. He comes on against Sporting. He did more in that time than Madueke did in the whole game.
He did, yeah.
Madueke's an unbelievable football player, an unbelievable winger, an England international.
Yeah.
It's a 16-year-old kid holding off Champions League players in the quarterfinals with his arm. Just push. Yeah. No, he took it around 3 players yesterday and then just won a foul.
Yeah.
But he was pushing them over.
Yeah.
Against Everton, he wins us a game in a total run-in. Yeah. I'm not talking just a throwaway game in a preseason where we all get excited about, whatever. I'm talking in the run-in. In the last 10 games, he goes and wins the game for Arsenal. And he's not just that, he's holding off Ukrainian internationals. He's pulling it back, letting Shrewsbury Hall slide past. Yeah. He's having the composure to run it in. That's not normal. And I think at some point, Clive said it on Arsenal Vision, he said, at some point you've got to go, he might not just be a really good up-and-coming future player. He might be the best player in that position for us currently. And I'm talking about Madueke. I'm talking about Saka.
Yeah.
There's a chance he might be our best player in that position. And he's, by the way, not his position.
Yeah.
Because people keep saying, well, I think we might have to accept that next year he's our right winger and Saka might have to become a new 10.
Yeah.
And then you can maybe sell an Odegaard or someone and Saka's a 10. No, Saka's a right winger. Dalman's the new 10.
Yeah. Yeah. He's similar to Nwaneri. He's very similar. Got put out right a lot.
Yeah, and it's because it's a less dangerous position, and you can tell how much Arteta, because Arteta is someone who doesn't trust people easily. Against Southampton, he hooked his captain and put him in field.
Yeah.
When we needed a goal.
Yeah.
He went, and I'm going to put you in a more responsible position later in a game when your legs are gone, because I think you could do more than our current captain.
Yeah.
And again, he must have been thinking, Sporting, I can't be playing Dalman. I do need... Odegaard needs to be fit, and Odegaard's coming back from injury. I know that there's more to it, but it's still to trust him. It didn't pay off. We lost, but I don't think it was a Dalman issue.
He had an effect. He had an impact.
He was running through and winning free kicks on the edge of the box right through to the end of the season.
It's why I wish they popped him on in the cup final. Just
to kind of
that element of chaos. Just that he could have. The game was gone. Just put him in there and just see what he can do, because he's got no pressure at this point. The game's already gone. Just get in there and see if you can at least do something. Why not? Just throw him. Give him like give him half an hour.
But here's the deal. I that's the conversation I think we're having, and I think the conversation needs to start being. Don't give him 15 minutes.
Start him.
He should be our starting player.
Yeah.
Because he might be better than the people in our current positions. And that's a lovely thing because it just means that goes good. And people go, yeah, we got to protect him. Where's your mouse protection?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Your mouse has proven that this isn't a thing.
Look at the card game. Who's the two biggest cards you could buy right now that aren't Ronaldo and Messi?
It's Yamal and Dalman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People know because you can see.
Cards are shares. Like, follow what the shares are doing.
He's good enough to be starting.
Yeah.
I get it. He maybe not fit. Blah, blah, blah. He needs to play more minutes than he is. And there's no way we're not, like, a lot of people are saying, like, once everyone was fit and Saka and Madueke, there's no chance he gets in. No. I think he'll turn around. He did it a couple weeks ago against Everton. He turned around. Arteta went, I need to win this game. He looked at his bench. He looked at Jesus in the eye. And he looked at Madueke in the eye. And he went, Dalman, come on. He gets it.
Yeah.
That's the thing is the benefit of all of this is the guy who needs to get it gets it.
Yeah.
Trusts him.
Yeah.
And he goes, I don't care if he's 16.
Yeah.
Yamal's 16.
Yeah.
If we bought Yamal tomorrow, would they go, yeah, but he needs to go on the bench a lot.
Yeah, he needs to learn.
And there's people out there, like, and this is another thing with when you talk about narratives and stuff. A player that I love, Kvaratskhelia, PSG. People talk about him being our left wing. Next year, we're probably going to have to bring a left winger and probably going to sell Martinelli and maybe Trossard.
I've heard Foden talked about, so I mean,
No, please don't. But Kvaratskhelia. And everyone, we get really excited about it, don't we? And you go, do you know what? He'd be unbelievable. Do you know how many goals he scored in the season this year?
No.
4.
It's hype, innit?
Yeah. Joe, Trossard and Martinelli have more goals, having shared a position in the Premier League, than he has in Liga.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have to, like, remember that. Like, people go, yeah, but when you look at, like, who's left in the Champions League? Diaz, Elise, Kane, Yamal, Rafinha, Lewandowski. There's another team probably. PSG, Dembele, Doué, Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah.
And then you look at Arsenal, it's like Gyökeres, Saka and Trossard. It's like, yeah, but now look at everyone's numbers.
Yeah, look at the stats.
Yeah, maybe not. Don't look at Dortmund. Don't look at Munich.
Yeah.
Because that'd be really demoralising for everyone. But do you know what I mean? You kind of go, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. And I think Trossard was really poor last night. But it just, sometimes you get caught up in things where you're like, we need to buy a Kvaratskhelia. Is there not a way of like figuring out if Dalman maybe could play left wing and he is our left wing and then you can have Saka and Dalman and Eze in a team?
The grass
Could Eze not be the left wing, Saka the right wing, and then Dalman's the 10?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden you kind of go, oh yeah, maybe we already have, Carl at Munich.
Yeah.
Maybe we already have that new huge player.
It's just never
We don't need to go and spend 100 million on Kvaratskhelia to get us 3 goals. Doku's got 7 goals in the last 3.5 years.
Yeah.
In the Premier League.
Yeah.
But everyone's like, he's unbelievable, one of the best wingers, isn't he?
Yeah,
It's like, well, how come Trossard scored like 9 times the amount of goals he has in the same time?
There's a weird shade to Arsenal players. And you know what? If we quietly get on
I think
with
it's the eye test sometimes.
Yeah, and I think if we quietly get on with it and our numbers look great and people aren't picking up on how good these guys are, I'm fine. Like, you do that. You be ignorant to what we're doing over here and we'll just crack on and we'll be great.
No, I agree. And this weekend it is the Bournemouth game. Now, I'm going to be nervous for it. It's a nice one simply because we're playing early. Some would say that's not nice.
Yeah.
But if we get a win, getting under the belt and just waiting the weekend and City having to marinate on that in Saturday night, all day Sunday, and then turn up to Stamford Bridge and have to go, we can't draw. We have to beat this team. And Chelsea turn up going, we just need to not get embarrassed.
Yeah.
Which might not be the worst case, but it could be Chelsea. You just don't know what you're going to get. Chelsea could get rolled over 5-0.
Could be an interesting weekend.
It could be an interesting weekend, but it's so important we get that win.
Yeah.
And I will talk about that in depth on the Patreon this week, where I'll preview that fully. There's a lot to unpack with that game because I think we're going to have almost a fully fit team.
Yeah.
There was a couple scares. Like last night, we didn't know if Gabriel was fit. He turned out to be fit.
Yeah, he had his knee iced up.
Yeah, right. I think Ben White's had a bit of a couple shockers, and we do need Timber back.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't play Mosquera right back last night.
Yeah.
I really thought we were going to see Mosquera.
Yeah.
He obviously saw something with maybe their fullback being as attacking as he is.
Yeah.
I think he thought maybe with Ben White being attacking as well that he would get kind of 2-on-1.
Yeah.
But he didn't.
No.
And
they got him behind a couple of times.
Yeah. So I don't know if you'll see that next week. I think there's going to be some players that return for Bournemouth, and there's some that are going to return at Sporting next week. And then also, 3 days after we play Sporting next week, we have to play Man City, and that is the game. That is the season there. Because if the weekend this weekend goes how we imagine it could,
yeah,
and we dream it does, The Etihad could be like, you could go to the Etihad, somehow win. That could be the league.
I think it'd be done, yeah.
A draw, I think if the weekend, let's say they draw this weekend, we win, and then we draw at Etihad,
Yeah.
I think that's the league as well.
Yeah.
Because they would be 11 points behind us with a game in hand, so they'd be 8 points, but they would need us in the last 5 to lose 3 of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And could we do that? Yeah.
Oh, easily.
We've proven the last couple of weeks that we can lose 2 in a row. We can give up a lot of chances. This was the same team that 3 months ago we were going, we don't even concede a shot on target in 6 games.
Yeah.
We're now a team that just you have 4 very good chances.
Yeah, yeah. Watch Raya make some worldies.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Let's hope for the best. And we're up the other end. We're not going to create anything.
Yeah, yeah.
But right at the end, we might.
Yeah, yeah. We might.
That's not the team you want.
They should give you that feel.
Trying to hold a lead. But I mean,
How many more games do you have to win the league?
I think we need 15 more points, no matter what City do. But it's something like that. So 5 out of the 7, I think we have to win. So that will make it a very interesting end, because I think if City win, I think that changes in some capacity. But like obviously, if one of the winners against City, then that removes one of their points. So I think we'd only need 12 points total. So we only need to win 4 out of 7. But I think every game we play is another game. Like we were talking a couple of weeks ago, with 16 games left. Remove the FA Cup now.
Yeah.
We maximum in the Champions League have 4 more games if we went the distance.
Yeah.
In the Premier League, we have 7. There's 11 games left of the whole season to win 2 trophies. Okay, we only have to draw at the Etihad. We only have to draw at Sporting because of the position we're in.
Yeah.
So out of those 11, we can draw 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
So every 3 days we're getting closer. Like every time you chop away another result is another day closer to City can't catch up.
Yeah.
So like you go to Bournemouth, if you win that game, just doesn't matter what it looks like, just put it away and go, all right, well that was 3 points. City can't get taken off us.
Yeah.
They can do what they want in their game, but they can't take us somewhere else.
Yeah.
We draw with Sporting next week at the Emirates 0-0 or 1-1. We win 2-0.
Yeah.
And we're through to a semi-final. Put that over to one side, forget about it. Then we go to the Etihad. Then you have to, that's a cup final.
That is a cup final, yeah. Big time.
And then a week after that will be, I think, home to Newcastle.
Yeah.
That becomes Tifo's out, because that all of a sudden is like the start of the end.
Yeah.
City are done. It doesn't matter what happens. Because even if we lose to Bournemouth and then lose to City and they win both of them,
Yeah.
we're still ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's still in our hands.
Yeah, yeah. That's
so they win their game in hand. We'll be level points, but our goal difference is slightly better. So it'd just be who can win out by more goals. But we have 5 games. They still go to Villa. They still go to Everton. They've got a lot of games that they need to get through. They don't have to go to Villa, so they home to Villa.
It's kind of scary, isn't it? If you just win 11 more games.
Yeah, but the thing is,
you win both.
You don't. You only have to win 9. You can draw 2 and win 9.
But it sounds simple, doesn't it? Though?
Yeah, 11
if you just win 11 games, that's what you got to do. Win 11 games, and you win both.
Here's my hot take. I think we're going to lose at least 2 more games this season, at least.
Oh god, yeah. Yeah,
now,
100%.
Unfortunately, I think it's going to be the semi-final of the Champions League.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's going to be Man City.
Yeah, I think so.
And we've got to just try and figure out the rest.
Win the rest.
If we win the rest, then maybe we win everything as well. Anyway, we'll be back next Monday. I'll be reacting to what the hell happened that weekend on iTunes, Spotify, and on ad-free on Patreon. I'll be also on the Patreon. Click the link below if you want to sign up to get extra episodes. I'll be doing a preview for the Bournemouth game at the end of this week to make sure you've got enough time to listen to it before early kick-off Saturday. So we'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Hopefully with some good news. I say this to Kyle at work every single week. Every time I see him, I go, I'll see you next week. And I hope it's good. Yeah. And then this week, I saw him yesterday. And I went, I can't remember why, but there's something sad we've got to talk about. And he goes, Southampton. I was like, that's the one. So every week, I just don't know if it's a sad week or a happy week. Let's just hope it's a happy one.
Yes.
We'll be back next week. I think we lost the mic there, so I apologise for that echoing.
Heck yeah.
But we'll be back next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.